Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and let's round up everything we know about Borderlands 3 so far. Consider this video me officially entering the Borderlands 3 sphere for news, information, and discussion. We sometimes talk about it on the channel, but much like BioWare and Bethesda, I want to make it a core part of my channel. We have a lot to cover today, so let's dive in, starting off with some Tiny Tina. So 2K Brewster tweeted at Randy Pitchford saying, "I'm a simple man at Duval Magic, can we please see more of Tiny Tina in the next Borderlands? Seriously, best character ever. Just saying." To which Randy says, "I'm curious to see how she changes after growing up several years." Now, while this is not a confirmation or a denial of Tiny Tina, it's long been speculated that she will be one of the playable characters in the upcoming Borderlands game. A lot of people felt that the shadowed figure during the entire tech demo for Borderlands 3 was in fact Tiny Tina, and I think Randy saying, "Oh yeah, I'm curious," the man teases so much, I can guarantee he's saying, yeah, she's going to be a playable character. Just speculation, but how about some facts? Back at PAX 2015, Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford confirmed what pretty much everyone knew. The studio is planning to release another Borderlands game. So yes, we do know that one is officially coming. Speaking at a Borderlands panel, Pitchford simply referred to it as the big one and announced that the company would be hiring new staff to work on the game, and they do continue to do this as well, mind you. More than a year later, Randy Pitchford brought up the game again in Gearbox's PAX East 2016 panel, noting that while the game is in development, the game could very well be called something other than Borderlands 3. He also announced that the creative champion Mikey Newman, who wrote the original Borderlands game and games from the Brothers of Arms franchise, would be writing this game. Pitchford also said that Borderlands 2's art director Scott Kester will return for the sequel. Now, I don't know why they wouldn't call it Borderlands 3, because I could see it perfectly right now. BORD 3 R and then lands afterwards. Come on, that is perfect, Gearbox. That's A1 marketing right there. Just do it. But more important is Mikey Newman being a writer, and I think this feeds off of one of Randy Pitchford's tweets. Yes, we're going to be referring to this a lot now and in the future because the man teases like a madman. In a conversation with a fan of the Borderlands franchise, he asks what they disagree with him on, to which they say the direction Borderlands 2 took. "I prefer the way weapons worked and the drier humor of Borderlands 1. Randy says, "That said, I love Borderlands 2, but I share your opinion about Borderlands 1. I think the tone in the next game is closer to 1 than 2. Now take that as you will. I don't think Borderlands 1 has aged all that well. It is one of my favorite games of all time, but I really do enjoy Borderlands 2 a lot more. I have actually just recently picked up the Handsome Jack collection. I've been really playing it through again, and I've been enjoying that off-the-walls humor from Borderlands 2. With that said, sometimes it can be a little ridiculous and unnecessary and almost trying too hard, and so I can understand why some people do like the direction of Borderlands 1. I think what he's saying here is more so it's closer to 1, so we're gonna have more of those serious moments, but I think that the extra humor in 2 made the shock effect of some interesting plot twists in the story even more impactful, because you're like, holy crap, this game that was really funny a second ago just got super serious. What may change things up is that just last month, Polygon reported that Borderlands 3's lead writer Mikey Newman resigned from his position at Gearbox due to health complications stemming from multiple sclerosis, which is a real shame. It's unclear what kind of impact Newman's departure will have on the game's development. With few details known, it's unclear how much of the story has been completed. There's been no word of who, if anyone, will take over Newman's role. Once again, that's a real shame. That sucks. I do hope that Newman gets better over time. As for the future of Borderlands with this information, I would imagine that they already have the major plot points written out and they really just have to fill in the gaps and develop characters further, which I think most of the writing team can take from there. Like the article stated, there isn't anyone who has taken over officially as of yet, so maybe they feel more comfortable with their writing team because a lot of the major work has been done. Assuming that this game is releasing in 2018, I would have to say that the story's got to be done by this point in time and fully written. Next up is a very interesting Easter egg found inside Battleborn, which is a so underrated game. It was found by YouTuber Handsome Jack Boy, which I will have the video linked in the description down below, and he found graffiti on a wall located behind a gate in this DLC which says Promethea and also contains a vault symbol. Now, if you don't know, Promethea is a planet within the Borderlands universe, and it actually has the potential of being a setting for Borderlands 3, just speculation, but the Atlas Corporation found alien technology on this planet, which was then reversed engineered to create more powerful weapons. So seeing a tease for Promethea within one of Gearbox's latest IPs more than likely suggests the fact that Promethea could be a setting for the next Borderlands title. Borderlands 3 is obviously going to be a major multi-platform release, so with that said, we're going to expect it to appear everywhere, right? Well, sadly, not the Nintendo Switch. Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford revealed the news when questioned by a fan on Twitter, surprise, his Twitter, saying that the studio had talked to Nintendo, but that stopped for some reason, and Nintendo has other priorities. So sadly, we're not expecting a Nintendo Switch version. I don't mind this too much because, quite honestly, the last time I played a portable Borderlands was Borderlands 2 on the Vita, and I do commend Gearbox for trying to support that console, but it ran like absolute crap. And now you did hear me assume earlier that perhaps Borderlands 3 will be a 2018 title. The reason I say that is because Take-Two may have actually teased the release window for this game during an earnings call. Take-Two said that it had a highly anticipated new title from one of 2K's biggest franchises in the works for its fiscal year 2019, which begins in April. And considering we already have Red Dead Redemption 2 announced, it's not that, and I figure it's either Borderlands or BioShock, and more presumably Borderlands given its popularity. Now, social media engagement is really important for game studios nowadays to keep their fans in the loop, to keep their name relevant out there while so much other gaming news hits us on a daily basis. But this one in particular was interesting when the Borderlands Facebook account asked people if they had a favorite gun for Borderlands 2 and to take this short survey to tell us what it is and why you love it. Now, I'm going to reiterate what my good friend the Lone Vault Wanderer said because it's entirely true, where if this was just social media engagement, they'd say leave a comment down below and say why. But when they're collecting the data through a survey, it more than likely means they need to refer to this data constantly. Perhaps they're picking quest rewards and deciding, okay, most of our community really likes the assault rifle, let's give them more of that. But I also remember that a lot of these guns are really effective based off your class, so I think it's going to be really divisive on who likes what, and perhaps my speculation's entirely wrong on why they're collecting the data, just the timing seems off. Lastly was an interview between Randy Pitchford and Jeff Keighley at E3 this year, in which they were talking about the future of Borderlands, saying that they have everyone really working on the development of this title, which I imagine most of us assumed because it's their next big project. But on the other side of the coin, Randy Pitchford also confirmed that there's going to be a very big reveal for this game. So that's super exciting to hear that, yes, they're talking about it, making people know, yeah, we're working on it, yeah, it's coming, so don't worry, but that when it actually is announced officially, that it's going to be a huge reveal, even though it's one of those things where we all know about it, we just haven't seen that official Borderlands 3 gameplay. We saw a tech demo that apparently doesn't represent Borderlands 3, but what they're going to be using to make Borderlands 3, but I think Gearbox isn't stupid and knows fans are going to speculate regardless. Anyway, that does it for all the information I could round up for Borderlands 3. Are you excited for Borderlands 3? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content we create here. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.